back to the channel. Really exciting to see all this go together last time. Feels so good to start piecing things in and seeing how well it fits together. Today, we're ripping this engine back out, even though we said we weren't going to do that. We're going to modify the oil pan to get more clearance between the oil pan and the front differential. I like the stance. This just looks really good. I don't want to go any higher. We're going to probably maybe add airbags or something. I don't know yet, but we are going to cut the oil pan. We can gain about 2 inches of clearance by cutting the oil pan. For this, it's going to work fine. Starting to work on possibilities of an air-to-water intercooler instead of an air-to-air, because we really just don't have that much real estate to work with. We also never welded in the hole in the firewall. So what we're going to do is we're going to rip all this back apart. I'm going to start the engine draining the oil now to try and alleviate the mess and get this engine out. We're going to take the oil pan off, which if you've noticed, the lower oil pan is rusted out and it's leaving marks on the floor everywhere. Might as well change it now, get it all done. Let's get this ripped apart.
Well guys, it's time for cold weather, so you better prepare well. Get your grill covers on. Stay warm.
Okay, now you're gonna have to help walk that. Well, here, it's starting to come loose.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, there it goes. All right, first of all, these wires hanging down here were chewed off by a mouse. Way up in here, I extended them out. We got ground wires and we've got an oil level sensor, so that's why these are here. We just haven't fixed them yet. The reason we pulled the oil pan is you can see this oil pan is like 4.5 inches deep, and this is our interference area right here, about 6 inches back from the front of the engine. And I found a video online of somebody doing this, and I started looking at it and thinking, well, our oil pan's leaking. This would be a perfect time to not only fix our leaks, but also get more room. If I measure, the lowest point is 2 inches. Well, 2 inches in the front, we're like 2.25 up here to our oil pickup tube. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna cut the oil pan to probably, I haven't decided how far back yet, most likely back to here. So that way, one, we don't have this extra sump holding oil in here unnecessarily, but two, we're gonna gain almost another, I think like 2.5 inches of clearance right here. And we can do a 45 on this side of the oil pan, which is over on the differential. The differential kind of has the angle right there. So that'll gain us another 2 inches of clearance to hopefully make it safer to not risk shattering our pan. But we're gonna cut it, and then I've got a spool gun where I can weld aluminum. We're gonna try it. If it doesn't work, I got somebody who will TIG weld it for me. But that's the hope, is gaining a lot more clearance, and at the same time, we're fixing an oil leak that this thing had. The lower oil pan was rusted out anyway. It needs to be replaced. Might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
All right, since Tim cut too much out, since I wasn't here that day.
Supervisor was off duty that day.
Supervisor was off duty. We gotta weld this piece back in. So real quick, we're just gonna tack it up, and then we're gonna make sure that it's fireproof on the other side, and then we'll get it welded up. Just in case Tim ends up doing something like this later, we can compare and see who won. That's it welded back in. With this thin of metal, it blows through really easily, so just took a lot of time of a bunch of little tack welds here and there, and then ground it down, and there it is. Man, that looks good. Man, AJ, you do a good job.
Keep telling yourself that. So as I said, we pulled the oil pan so we can cut it down to get more clearance to the front axle. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go from probably, if I could see it, I'm guessing from here forward, we're gonna cut it down to 2 1/4 inches. So 2 1/4 is like that right there. That's quite a bit of clearance. And then on, well, it's actually this side here, we're gonna kind of do a 45, and on the front, we're gonna do a little bit of 45 too to make more room for the track bar. We're gonna mark it all the way around. We're gonna start by cutting it flat. We'll test fit it, see how we like it. If we can cut some more off, we'll cut some more off. We'll test fit it again. And then I still have to get some aluminum. We'll get some like 1/4 or 3/16 aluminum plate, and we'll weld it back together. I have the aluminum welder at my house, so we'll have to do that at home, but we'll get cutting. That's a lot of clearance we just gained, and this is leaving extra. Let's try it on and see if it fits. The track bar is about right here, and our real interference is this corner, but what we're thinking we can do is, it's by moving the track bar forward 1 3/4 inches, that gives us a lot of clearance. So worst come worst, we'll heat this up and straighten this out just a little bit, or cut it and weld it, whatever, but we bring that out, we're really close. So I think I'm gonna say let's not mess with here. Let's figure out if we need to angle this over here a little bit more, but that looks really good. I'm really happy with that. We have just a little bit of breathing room between those two pieces right there. And once I put a piece of flat plate on here, you'll see I'm not perfectly straight. So once I put a piece of flat plate, we'll see those, and I can kind of smooth them all out. And then I'll even weld these gussets in here from the inside. So here we have like 2 inches, and once that's gone, that is a lot better. Is it enough? I don't really know, but it's a lot better. I do have just a little bit of room. I'm not gonna try and get it, right up next to it. That looks pretty good, but I think it's not really that much work. Yeah, I gotta weld it up, but I think that's gonna be way better having that much clearance.
All right, Tim, say things.
Thanks.
Good job.
That's not what you said, say thanks?
No, I said say things.
Oh, say things, things. Well, another day down of doing the slow and boring and tedious stuff, but it's one step closer to making this Jeep run and drive with an LBZ Duramax. Got the firewall closed up, partially closed up. The oil pan modification, that was the hard part. Now he's got to weld it all back up in. Continued working on the wiring a little bit more on the inside of the firewall, just cutting up what we had from the van. Next week, we should have the ECM, knock on something wood, I don't know, and maybe we can fire it up. If I get this oil pan welded up, I'll get a new lower oil pan because that's all rusted out, bring a pail of oil. We could potentially have this thing running in the Jeep next week. Make sure you got the notification bell clicked so you get notified when this next video comes up. We're super excited. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.